Hello everybody, this is Tim Barrow from Titan PM Solutions. We're going to be doing a quick walkthrough of our project management application today. This application is really the center of the Titan software solution. And Titan PM was built specifically as a tool that's easy to use, something your teams will have no problem buying into and actually using. At the same time, it gives you a central spot to manage the information you need in a large enterprise organization that utilizes SAP. So today we'll be walking through our projects application, and as you can see, we're on a standard SAP Fiori screen. This is an installation in Solution Manager. So the great thing about it is that additional licenses from SAP are not required, and you can put everybody into the application and only think about your Titan licensing. We'll get in and see we've got a bunch of projects that have been entered for demo purposes, and we'll pull up an individual project here where we can see that lots of details have been put in about the project. But just to kind of talk about what's there, we do have the project name and overall status are really the two required things for a project. You can create a project just based on that. Some of the things that are used quite a bit from a reporting process is breaking down the projects with funnels and portfolios, so you can know where a lot of different projects are going on at one particular time. The project type, which drives a lot of the automation in the project itself, going along with the project size. You can talk about what applications and tags, your start and go live dates, rankings for strategic planning, and some key positions that are called out. Again, this is about what your organization needs, so some of these fields may not necessarily be required. As you go through that planning process, putting in a narrative format your background and scope, your constraints and assumptions are something you can really help as a lot of different groups and organizations put projects into your system. Statuses that are accumulated for the project across many teams get collected here. What's really nice is you're able to see some trending that's going on and really ask questions and see what problems are out there. So it's a really good place to review how the project is going. Of course, there's a lot more detail in the overall reporting and analytics, which we'll show later, but this is a great place to start. Your milestones for the projects, which are automatically generated based on the project type and based on the size. So you can have standard phases for your, say, SAP waterfall projects, but then you may also have projects in your system for things like new product introductions that are going to be put into SAP. You may have different production support projects that are much different than your standard full-blown waterfall projects and go on a regular basis. So this is an area that just by putting in the type of project you're in, the size of your project, or your go live date, the configuration behind this will actually generate these dates for you, and so you can automatically see what's out there. Inputting the teams allows you to see, use that resource planning to really understand where you are in each detail. And one thing that was really important is, again, this is the automated process as when you put in, say, an OTC team at 4 FTEs. But the great thing about it is that you can take these across our milestones and really say, well, for this milestone, I'm going to need 4 FTEs. For the next milestone, I only need 1 FTE, and that configuration can help you do that. It's especially helpful as you start to talk about testing resources who may not be as impacted at the beginning of the project, but are very much impacted as you get into the final stages of testing and getting your projects into production. At the same time, you can tie in individual named resources and manage your resources in that manner also. Specifically, if you have some critical resources that are going across many projects, you can see when those individual names are going to come up and say, I've got a critical OTC name, and Leanne is going to be up on the project, on this project, and she has particular knowledge that no one else has. We need to watch how we allocate her time. So that sort of thing is available to you. It's not directly tied on purpose to from your resources to your teams. So they can be different specifically so that you can manage individuals here as you need to do, while teams are more for that strategic planning purpose. Risks and issues are managed within the risk and issue application. So when you want to create those risk and issues for your project, you can start out here, create a new risk and issue, and it'll go to a new app, and you'll put the information in there. That's a very easy app to get into and to fill out. There's just our key bits of information there that will be used. And then that information is displayed here. Change request is a very similar way. Your change requests are going to be input in the change request application, and they'll all be displayed here. You can see the impacts of those change requests by team, and then where do they line up from a development, functional, security team, other kind of standpoint. You can see where your change requests are coming from, and manage that. The landscapes are noted here, where you're going to have your development environment, your QAS environment, or QA environment, your pre-production environment, possibly, especially if you're utilizing data conversion as a part of your project. So it's a good spot to note those. And then again, from an analytics standpoint, you can really see where all of the projects that are going to be a part of your program process, you can see where they sit at any particular point in time. And especially if you have hardware issues or need refreshes, it'll help planning in that mode. Sprints, from an SAP standpoint, I think that push is there for the hybrid model of both agile and waterfall. So the sprints, you can lay out and utilize those as needed from an informational standpoint, really understanding what the timing of each one of your sprints are. At the same time, you'll be staring at the waterfall schedules, and these at the moment are interfaced to Microsoft Project, and you'll be able. We'll show you in a video at a later date the key points about managing project plans, waterfall project plans against these waterfall schedules, which will allow individuals to update their own tasks inside of SAP, inside of Titan, with these schedules. You might have your overall project schedule. At the same time, you could have a cutover plan. You may have a cutover plan into a QA system for your first integration testing, your second integration testing, your production planning. You can manage all of those as separate schedules in Titan, and allow access across the board. We've got a lot of functionality in that area. That's really great functionality as far as the schedules. When you start talking about data conversion, this may be or may not be something that you're working with in your project. Different projects have different requirements there, but you can set up the mock conversions so that you have specific dates that you're looking for specific things. So in your first mock, you may only look to load successfully load 50% of the overall data gets loaded. Then you get better in the next mock, and your targets are at 80%. And then You also could have targets all the way up to 95% for that final mock. And then specifically on the data objects that you may be loading, again, this is a little bit more information about the data, but we'll show in deeper detail the possibilities with data for the future. And that really kind of looks at what the project management application is, covers that. We'll be going over in more detail a few of the other applications: risk and issues, change requests, landscapes, waterfall scheduling, and data. Those things will come out in future videos. Thank you very much for joining us today for this overview of the Titan PM Solutions project application. You can see our contact details on the screen. Feel free to reach out and ask us for more details about Titan and about the possibility of your organization joining us for our beta program. Thanks a lot.